7 things you'll never experience in heaven. The fourth will haunt your thoughts forever. There are places in this world that few have seen and even fewer have come back to tell the tale. When the sun sets behind the jagged peaks of the mountains, shadows stretch like fingers across the land, whispering secrets that could chill any soul. Imagine a place where echoes of laughter linger long after the crowd has disappeared, where chilling breezes sweep through abandoned halls, carrying the weight of unspoken stories. What if I told you that you could encounter 7 things so horrifying, they'll make you think twice about what lies beyond the veil of life? Buckle up, because the fourth revelation will grip you tighter than a vice and haunt your thoughts forever. As night falls, the wind howls through the gnarled branches of that old oak tree standing alone in the meadow. It's been there for centuries, keeping watch over a graveyard said to be cursed. Local kids dare each other to step closer at dusk, their hearts racing in fear. Some say if you listen closely enough, you can hear faint whispers of those who have never really left. It's this eerie sensation, the blend of dread and curiosity, that compels people to seek the darkness. But lurking there is something sinister. No one really knows why the moon peeks through the clouds like a curious spectator of the calamity below. The second revelation sends shivers down your spine, an eternal game of hide and seek. You think of heaven as a tranquil paradise, right? But consider this, in the darker corners of the afterlife, shadows do not just disappear. They become lost souls, forever searching for closure, forever looking for the ones they left behind. There is something hauntingly tragic about the idea. What would it feel like to yearn for peace that never comes? A lump forms in your throat as you imagine them, trapped between 2 worlds, unable to let go. As each bizarre element unfolds, the atmosphere thickens with suspense. Picture this, a place where the skies crackle with ominous storms, and thunder echoes the cries of those banned from heavenly refuge. The air is electric, laden with sorrow and unanswered questions. You can feel the weight of sympathy pressing down. Would you dare to step into a realm where joy flickers like a dying candle, extinguished before it could truly shine? Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. What if the disturbing truth is that hell isn't some fiery pit, but a continuation of the pain and suffering we endure in life? A haunting echo that reverberates in every heartbeat? The shadows seem to stretch even longer now, wrapping around you like a snake, tightening its grip as you ponder the possibilities. Just as you start piecing it all together, the fourth revelation shatters your thoughts. A voice, barely a whisper, crawls through the cracks of your mind. You'll never truly forgive. How prepared are you for the truth that lies beyond the grave? Are you ready to confront the darkness hiding just out of sight? Every heartbeat, every intake of breath becomes more significant, and a chilling realization washes over you like a cold wave. The answers exist, but are you willing to face the consequences of knowing them? The darkness deepens, and the air thickens with a tension that feels almost alive. You can almost hear the heartbeats of the shadows as they dance around you, cloaked in a veil of despair. The oak tree stands tall, guarding secrets, its gnarled limbs reaching out like skeletal fingers. You shift uneasily, aware of the piercing silence that now envelopes the graveyard. It's as if the world has stopped, holding its breath just for you. A chill runs down your spine when a distant cry echoes through the night, a mournful wail that chills you to the bone. You want to turn back, to flee from this cursed place, but something draws you in. Was that a voice calling your name? Your heart races as you venture further into the shadows, compelled by an inexplicable urge to uncover the truth. The fifth revelation waits just beyond the gates of your dread, the haunting presence of unresolved regret. Picture it, a spectral procession of lost souls, their faces twisted in sorrow, each one burdened by the weight of their unlivable pasts. They wander the graveyard, trapped between anger and forgiveness. What have they done that holds them here? You feel a pang of empathy as you imagine their plight. They might have been your neighbors, friends, or even family. The thought terrifies you. How would it feel to carry such a burden? Someone brushes by you, a cold gust of air trailing in their wake, and suddenly, a distant scream fills the night. It's a scream that seems to rise from the very ground beneath your feet, reverberating in your chest. You take a step back, stumbling over a gravestone, your pulse quickening. Panic rises. You want to run. But the moment you reach for the safety of the path behind you, a figure materializes, blocking your escape. It's a woman, her eyes sunken deep into her skull, a wisp of a dress clinging to her skeletal frame. Her mouth opens, but no sound comes out. You feel her desperation wrapping around you like chains. You have to help. She finally gasps, her voice a haunting echo that sends ice crawling up your spine. Her fingers extend towards you, almost beseeching. We don't want to be caught here forever. Caught. Forever. The weight of her words sinks in, and you realize the gravity of this place. It's not just a graveyard, it's a holding ground for the helpless. Fear clogs your throat. You spot a flicker of movement in the corner of your eye. Darkness shifts. The shadows aren't just watching, they're observing, waiting. In a split second, the fifth revelation becomes painfully clear: you're not just a witness but potentially a participant. Your heart thunders as the woman reels back, her face twisting with sudden rage. You can't leave without knowing. She shrieks, her voice rising in pitch. You must face your own darkness. Through the fog of confusion and terror, a single thought pierces through: what darkness? You scan the graveyard, feeling the eyes of lost souls upon you. Are they reflecting your deepest fears, your own regrets? The blood rushes to your ears as you glance back at her, only to see her disintegrate into wisps of smoke, swallowed by the growing shadows. You step back, just as something lurks behind you. A whisper, sweet like honey but thick with dread, curls around your soul: join us, you can't escape. As you turn to run, the ground trembles beneath you. What if the real horror lay within yourself? The answers call from beneath the surface, and as you sprint towards the path, you can't shake the foreboding thought clinging to your mind. What if you already belong to the shadows? The air thickens, and the shadows seem to surge, eager to pull you back. Your heart races as you stumble forward, hoping, praying, that dawn will break before you're consumed by the darkness once and for all. But as the moon shines brightly overhead, you realize, it might be too late. Are you prepared to confront the darkness within? The ground beneath your feet heaves, as if the earth itself is trying to swallow you whole. Every instinct screams for you to run, but a strange force pulls you back, the shadows reaching out like skeletal hands. You take a deep breath, feeling the icy air fill your lungs, and dart forward, fueled by adrenaline coursing through your veins. But the darkness doesn't relent. Don't run. A voice shrieks from the depths, a cacophony of whispers echoing as if the graveyard itself is alive. It knows you. Your heart is hammering against your chest like a desperate prisoner trying to escape. You steal a glance over your shoulder, but the shadows shift, morphing into a wall of darkness that closes in around you. The air feels electric, every pulse vibrating with tension. No longer are you merely an observer of these lost souls. You feel yourself slipping into their twisted reality. Ahead, the path forks, splitting into two ominous trails, each lined with tombstones that loom like watchful sentinels. You hesitate. Which way? Each direction seems to whisper temptation and give birth to your own lingering doubts. A memory flickers in your mind, flashes of choices made and chances lost, faces of those you loved mingling with those you failed. They crowd around you now, their specters looming large in the shifting darkness. Each heartbeat echoes with regret. A thunderous crack of lightning splits the sky, illuminating the graveyard for a brief moment. In that flash, you see a figure standing at the end of the left path, motionless but unmistakably familiar. Your breath catches. Could it be? Is that Choose? It bellows, the wind twisting its voice into an eerie howl. Your past or your future? You clench your fists, the weight of the decision crushing you under its enormity. It aches to face either option, and in that nagging dread, a seed of defiance grows. I refuse to choose. You scream, but the words feel weak, lost among the howling winds. The figure, whoever or whatever it is, only smiles, revealing jagged, shadowy teeth that gleam in the moonlight. Another flicker of insight hits you like a cold wave. What if it's all a trick? The figure feels like a manifestation of your own fears, an embodiment of the worst parts of your history. You glance back at the right path, where the ground seems to vibrate with a low hum, filled with the unclear promise of freedom. With resolve, you take a step towards the right path, but suddenly, the earth shakes again, furious this time, as if protesting your decision. The shadows around you twist and form shapes, becoming legions of those who have been lost to their own choices. Their voices are deafening now, a collective wail echoing in your ears. Bring her back. We want her back. Panic overwhelms you as they converge. Thoughts of escape swirl in your mind. What if aligning with those shadows means surrendering your essence to the very darkness that haunts them? Would you forever share their torment? You clench your jaw. I will not be your prisoner. You shout defiantly into the void. And just like that, a sudden silence falls, thick and suffocating. Their eyes, glowing in the darkness, fixate intently on you, as if waiting for your next move. The choice lies heavy on your shoulders, but you feel a glimmer of a different, more profound connection, a sense of understanding between you and these trapped souls. You are more alike than different, and yet something inside you yearns for freedom. Can you break their chains? As you step forward, emboldened by the flicker of hope igniting within, the ground beneath shifts again. It cracks and splinters, revealing black voids teeming with shadows threatening to swallow you whole. Your heart races. When souls call out in despair, what do you owe them? Perhaps, just perhaps, the real courage lies in confronting your own darkness, and those left behind. You stand on the precipice, ready to leap, a choice approaching, heavy as lead. Will you dare confront the shadows, or will you let them swallow you whole? The ground shakes once more, reverberating through your bones like a thunderous drum. Shadows dance wildly around you, their energy chaotic and malevolent. The soul's eyes flare bright in the darkness, fierce and hungry. They crave something more than just your company, they want your very essence, a piece of your soul to bind them to life again. Don't give in. A voice shrieks from somewhere amidst the chaos. A woman's face appears, half-formed, yet strikingly familiar. You're stronger than them. Your heart skips, a wretched mix of hope and despair. Could it be the spirit of someone you lost? You strain to capture that fleeting connection while the shadows pulse in time with your racing pulse. Remember. She urges. You always had the power. Don't let them take it away. Her words surge through you like adrenaline, grounding you for a brief moment. You take a deep breath, pushing back against the encroaching darkness threatening to snuff out that light. There is something within you, an ember of resilience flickering against the gale. You think you can escape us? The haunting figure at the left path mocks. Its eyes cold and gleaming, it contorts into shapes twisting in horrific ballet. You belong to the shadows. No. You reply, voice stronger than you feel. I belong to my own fate. You press forward, adrenaline exploding through your limbs. The right path stretches out before you, alive with the electric hum of potential. Suddenly, the shadows surge forward, multifaceted and ravenous, an ocean of despair crashing against your resolve. Figures clutch at your clothes, icy fingers grazing your skin, their anguished faces pleading. Stay. Stay with us. Images flash through your mind, friends' laughter, days spent in sunlight, hopes for the future. You wobble, teetering on the edge of their haunting chorus. Their faces shift from pleading to anger, their voices rising in a furious crescendo. Intense fear blares through your mind. Who are you? You cry out, trying to gather your strength to push through. But they continue relentless, dark, almost a suffocating fog wrapping around you. I am your failures. A voice snarls, echoing with the power of 1,000 past regrets. All the moments you let slip away. We are the choices you never made. No. Each accusation ricochets off your resolve like a shot of ice-cold water. You can't allow their despair to worm its way into your head. You take a step back, your breath coming in short gasps. But just as you feel the heaviness weighing you down, that flicker of hope sparks fiercely within again. I am more than my past. You scream into the void, defiance fueling your words. I am ready to face my fears. As though your declaration has cast a spell, the shadows momentarily falter, recoiling from your voice. The woman's spirit appears again, her watchful eyes igniting a fire within your chest. There lies the path of your making. She encourages, gesturing toward the right trail that vibrates with urgency. Trust in your strength. Break free. With renewed determination coursing through your veins, you turn fully toward the right. Now. You command yourself, the words breaking free like thunder. Your legs push against the trembling ground, charging forward. The air smells of damp earth, pulse quickening as you dodge clutches from ghostly hands, the shadows hiss and scream, but you keep running, blood roaring in your ears. This is your fight. The past holds no power over you if you're willing to seize your future. You sprint onward, and just when it feels like freedom is within reach, the earth trembles once more violently, and the visible ground cracks open into a chasm, a yawning pit teeming with a darkness that seems to have a pulse of its own. The edge crumbles beneath your feet, and you scramble, heart in your throat. Freedom or fall? As you teeter on the edge, you can feel the shadows clawing for you, desperate, insatiable. What will you do now? Will you leap into the unknown, or let the darkness drag you into its depths? Your heartbeat is thunder in your chest, drowning out the howls of the shadows clawing at your ankles. Time slows, everything blurs into an awful haze of dark and light. You look down at the chasm, its depths a swirling mass of nightmares ready to swallow you whole. It's either leap into an eternal unknown or allow despair to pull you back, forever lost in their lamentation. The woman's spirit stirs within you, an anchor against the chaos. Trust yourself. You can rise above this. Her voice a whisper of strength, it cuts through the noise. You catch a glimpse of your past in her eyes, moments of joy lost in time, shimmering like the surface of water kissed by sunlight. With every inch you drift toward the fissure, those memories surge, begging you to remember, and as if fueled by that recollection, your body braces. No more hesitation. This is not just escape, this is a declaration of your existence. Releasing all doubt, you leap. A rush of cold air engulfs you as you dive into the void. Time folds in upon itself, and for an eternity, you feel weightless. But just as the darkness threatens to envelop you, a brilliant light breaks through, a fierce white that burns its way through your eyelids. You land on something solid, a warm surface that feels almost like the soft ground of summer fields, yet pulsates beneath you as though alive. You gasp, scrambling to your feet, instinctively searching for the malevolent shadows. But they're gone. A moment of disorientation strikes, the air is heavy, filled with an unfamiliar sweetness, and your confusion shifts to disbelief. The landscape around you is surreal, bathed in golden sunlight with vibrant colors that feel foreign and alive. This is not the chasm you expected, but something entirely different. Welcome, a soft voice echoes from nearby, soothing yet strangely ominous. You turn to see a figure cloaked in light. It's as though the sun itself has taken shape, illuminating the area with a warmth that feels like a long-lost embrace. You've arrived, but not without cost. Cost? You find your voice, though it quakes with the remnants of fear. What do you mean? The leap into this realm requires understanding and absolute acceptance of what you are. The figure steps forward, their features glimmering like stars in twilight. You meet shadows here too, but they will behave differently. It is not simply your freedom or your past that define you anymore, it's the choices you make right here, right now. A shiver runs down your spine. Reality is beginning to settle, like a settling storm. You can still hear whispers, faint echoes of the shadows you escaped, curling at the edges of this sanctuary. They lurk in your mind, pricking at the edges of your consciousness, urging you to doubt your worth. Do not listen. The Spirit warns, lifting a hand as if to shield you. Their power wanes here, but you must confront them, not flee. Panic threatens to wash over you once more. I fought them. I chose to leap. Why haven't they gone? The figure's eyes soften. Because they are a part of you, a lesson to be faced, not ignored. You can carve a new existence, but only through a fight of understanding. The strength of their gaze makes your heart race. The shadows may not be gone, but something about this new presence fills you with a spark of defiance. Maybe you can reshape this darkness into strength, but the tension remains. A low rumble courses through the air, disturbing the serenity of this vibrant realm. The Spirit's face tightens. Changes are coming. You must prepare. Reconciling the shadows will be the hardest battle of all. Fingers of dread creep back, cold and familiar. The shadows may have receded for now, but a gnawing certainty takes root within you. This was only the beginning of something far more complicated. What new darkness lurks just beyond the boundary of this golden light? And how will you confront it? The question looms heavily, a shroud of uncertainty settling over your resolve. The golden light dims, and with it, the warm embrace of hope starts to cool. The air is charged with tension, heavy like the silence before a storm. A shift in the atmosphere sends a chill racing down your spine. You grasp your arms, trying to find comfort in your own presence, but it feels fleeting, like trying to capture water in your hands. What changes? You ask hesitantly, your voice trembling. What am I supposed to face? The figure's expression flickers with sadness. The shadows evolve when you enter this realm. They will take on forms you recognize, shapes of your past, regrets that blind you to your future. Your heart hammers at the familiarity of those words. Regrets. If only you could leave them behind. But the idea of facing them again churns in your stomach, a sickening twist that drains you of strength. Why can't they just disappear? Because every shadow has something to teach, the Spirit replies, the light around them pulsing in time with your racing heart. To accept responsibility is to embrace your light. Ignoring the darkness only lets it grow. With those words, everything freezes. You are suddenly acutely aware of the vibrant tapestry of color surrounding you, the lush greens, the burning oranges, the deep, serene blues. They vibrate with energy, alive, yet the shadows whisper at the edges, demanding your attention with menacing insistence. A sound breaks the tension, a low, growling murmur that reverberates through the ground. You scan the horizon, the sunlight now filtering through ominous clouds that roll in from nowhere, burying the light in shadows once again. Stay close to me, the Spirit commands, no longer soothing. There's a steeliness in their voice that makes your thoughts whirl. Tentatively, you step closer, searching for strength in their luminescence. But the shadows can feel your hesitation. They hiss, clawing at the air, twisting into familiar figures that gnaw at your memories. A face you recognize, a friend lost, a laugh turned to silence, and the echo of choices not taken. Panic doesn't just wash over you, it grips you like iron. I can't. You cry out. I thought I leapt to escape this. Why can't I run from them? No, the Spirit says firmly. You must face them. Only then can you reclaim your light. Heart pounding so hard it feels like it might burst, you take a step towards the dark shapes forming around you. They pulse and whisper your name, filling the air with despair. The faces morph into grotesque shapes, doubt, shame, fear, heartbreak, all twisted reflections of who you were. What do you want from me? You shout. You can't have me. Awareness, the whispers hiss back, a chorus of desperation mingled with laughter. You've always known, but you've shielded those truths in layers of denial. You stagger back, feeling the weight of their words press against your chest. Memories crash in a childhood laugh drowned out by screams, dreams dashed by the weight of expectations. Your own shadows choke you with images of mistakes you can't unmake. The spirit steps forward, their luminosity brightening as they wave a hand. Face what you fear. Only through acceptance can you find peace. The murmurs intensify, twisting into a cacophony of haunting voices. You squeeze your eyes shut, wanting to block out their relentless probing. But it's no use, the shadows are already inside you, consuming the light. When you open your eyes, the scene shifts. The darkened figures are now rushing toward you, swirling like a storm, threatening to drag you back into despair. You feel it, the pull of familiar pain, the seductive lull of forgotten comfort in self-pity. But beneath the chaos, something else blazes, a flicker of resilience. The Spirit's light shines brighter, hovering beside you. The fight isn't outside, but within, they remind you, voice steady yet urgent. You inhale deeply, steeling yourself. You are done running. It's time to confront the truth, however painful. But just as you gather the strength to push through, an all-consuming darkness engulfs the light, swallowing your resolve whole. What will you discover in the depths of your confrontation? Will you emerge, changed and whole, or will the shadows claim you forever? The choice hangs heavy in the air, just out of reach. The darkness rolls in like a thick fog, wrapping around you, suffocating and inescapable. A pulse of fear surges through your veins as the figures draw closer. Panic claws at your throat, a raw, desperate need to escape. You feel as if you're trapped in quicksand, every attempt to move only sucking you deeper into despair. Then, from the shadows, a chilling voice whispers your name. You can't outrun your past, it's a voice you recognize all too well. A friend. A confidant. Someone who once promised loyalty but became a reminder of betrayal. The darkness makes their face shift, contorting with anguish that mirrors your own. You shake your head violently. You're not real. You can't take hold of me again. The spirit beside you flares brighter, a beacon amidst the engulfing void. Fight back, they urge, their voice piercing through the tempest of memories. Remember why you're here. What am I fighting for? You wonder as the shadows circle like wolves waiting to pounce. Deep down, a seed of defiance takes root. You think of freedom, the breath of fresh air away from the things that haunt you. That thought keeps you grounded, even as doubt gnaws insistently at your heart. Let me show you, the spirit continues. They're shadows of what was not what is. You have the power to reshape your narrative. But that familiar voice chimes in again, laced with mockery. You think you can change what you've become? You'll always be that child hiding in the corner, terrified and alone. Suddenly, a burst of anger rises within you. You shout back at the figure. That's not who I am anymore. I've fought tooth and nail to grow. I won't let you take that away from me. The shadows recoil, momentarily disturbed by your fierce declaration. But they regroup quickly, morphing into faces of disappointment. Family members looking back at you, their eyes reflecting hurt, dismay, judgment. Your chest tightens painfully. What do you want me to do? You plead. I never wanted to hurt anyone. A chilling laughter echoes, throwing the depths of your anxieties against you. You could have been enough. Choosing your path made you weak. The doubts claw at you, each one a fierce reminder of weaknesses, abandoning dreams, quieting your voice when you should have shouted. They weave together, a tapestry of regret that tightens around you like a noose. You gasp for breath as the weight of it threatens to crush you. Remember your light. The spirit implores once more, their presence flickering. You are more than these shadows. Focus on who you aim to be. Something stirs deep within you, an ember that refuses to die. You breathe, focusing on the words, I am strong. I am worthy. Each breath fuels the fire growing inside. The darkness trembles as your resolve strengthens. You're not just facing shadows, you're reclaiming your truth. Yet, a new fear creeps in, wrapping around your throat like a vine. And if I lose? What if I fail? You cannot fail if you don't give up. The spirit speaks louder now, ringing with certainty. Their glow intensifies, illuminating the surrounding gloom. You summon your strength, crying out. I reject this darkness. I choose my light. With those words, the shadows surge, twisting and thrashing around you. They lash out, trying to pull you back down into the deep. But something in the depths of your being ignites with warmth and defiance. Just before the shadows swallow you whole, a blinding flash erupts at the center of the chaos. It sends tendrils of light spiraling outward, pushing against the looming figures, then silence. What has become of the shadows? Are they dispersed or merely waiting for your next falter? The void before you pulsates, teetering between darkness and light. The silence hums with tension, threatening to explode. Will you plunge deeper into the heart of what you fear most? Or will you step forth, leaving those shadows behind? Something waits in the dark, something unexpected. The silence stretches painfully, an elastic band pulled to its limit. Your heart pounds in your chest, a wild drum solo in the stillness. You blink, adjusting your eyes to the dimmest line of light lingering at the edges of the void, your senses heightened. The air is thick charged, like that moment before a storm. Don't let it take you, the spirit's voice echoes again, persistent and steady. You are more than this moment. You summon your breath, letting the warm light wrap around you, enveloping your body in a tender embrace. But the moment is fleeting. You feel the darkness pull at your feet. It isn't merely unwilling to dissipate, it is alive, sinister, hungry. What waits for you at the edge? You take a step forward, and the moment your foot touches that faint light, the shadows shudder. They're alive, a writhing mass of regret and anger, clawing at the edges of your resolve. You couldn't fail now. Not when you're this close to breaking free, yet, in the back of your mind, that taunting voice whispers again. You think you can confront what lingers? Look closer. Your past comes rushing back, the waves of darkness ripple outward, morphing into fleeting visions. Each face a fragment of events long buried but never forgotten. Your mother's disappointed gaze, your father's derisive laughter. Friends who turned their backs when it mattered most. A sequence of moments that made you question your worth, your purpose. You falter, feeling the weight of it all crashing down on you like a tidal wave. Fight. The spirit urges, but your will flickers under the pressure. Suddenly, everything changes. The plain before you shimmers as new forms emerge from the shadows. Not just faces, but figures that shape into the very people you sought to escape. They step closer, their expressions shifting from disapproval to fury. You cannot abandon us, they scream, blending into an orchestra of haunting voices that rumble. Each word sends daggers into your heart. I didn't abandon you. I wanted to become someone better. Someone better. The chorus sneers back, their voices dripping with contempt. You're the same fractured child. You just hide better. Enough. You scream, your voice reverberating like a thunderclap, silencing them if only for a moment. But silence only brings silence, heavy and oppressive. You're drowning in their shadows again, your spirit flickers dimly, but they stand firm. Focus. Create your path. Your truth isn't in their shadows. What do you want? What will set you free? The answers swirl chaotically, just out of reach. You visualize freedom, the laughter of friends, the warmth of acceptance, dreams unfolding. The image feels solid in your mind, anchoring you. You step closer to that reality with every ounce of strength. I choose my own identity. My past cannot dictate my future. With that declaration, the shadows flinch, but you sense the fury intensifying. They coil tighter around you, yet a steady light pushes against them. It's within your grasp, an energy bubbling and flaring, but just as victory seems possible, a blinding flash erupts from the heart of the shadows, casting everything into a sharp contrast between light and dark. You gasp as the world around you twists, folding in on itself. Will you embrace what you fear? The spirit asks, their glow flickering in uncertainty. You stand, torn between the familiar abyss of despair and the delicate thread of hope weaving through the darkness. Everything hangs in the balance as the shadows draw terrifyingly close once more. What do you truly fear? What will you sacrifice to become who you want to be? Something stirs in the depths, a possibility waiting to be born, ready to shock you when the truth reveals itself. The blinding light recedes, and the shadows momentarily retreat, hissing like steam against the cooling air. You squint at the murky forms now lingering at the edges, but the whisper of hope keeps lifting you. You push against that suffocating darkness, a collision of revulsion and determination boiling inside you. But then, dread washes over you as a weighty silence follows the light's departure. The ground trembles beneath your feet, and the shadowy figures grow bolder, merging to form what seems like a living wall of fear and anguish. A surge of desperation rises in your throat, a shadow of itself that teeters on the edge of choking you. They chant, a rhythmic pulse of venomous echoes. You don't belong here. You never did. No. You shout back, grasping for your truth in their dense fog. I am more than your voices. You press deeper into the light, feeling it strengthen as you reclaim your resolve. Suddenly, a figure emerges at the center of the living wall. It's a grotesque amalgamation of all your fears, every afterthought and self-questioning that has colored your existence. They wear the faces of judgment and disappointment, and you recognize your own face reflected back in the horror. You stagger back, chills racing down your spine as the grotesque entity laughs, a sound that echoes like shattered glass in the emptiness. Do not hide from me, it taunts, the voice a cacophony of the past. This is who you are. You can't escape. Mustering your strength, you step forward. I want to be defined by what you say. You will not hold me back. But as soon as the words escape, a chilling laughter surrounds you, and the shadows surge forward, wrapping around your limbs like chains, dragging you back to that fear-filled pit. Your past. It will consume you. The figure booms, its voice a thunderstorm that rattles your very core. The chilling tug of despair pulls at your heart, a cold hand gripped tightly around your spirit. Then you hear it again, the gentle, persistent voice of the spirit. You must find your truth. It lies beneath the fear. Listen. Inhale, exhale. You focus on the warmth in your chest, the pulse of determination igniting fiercely. Your past, with all its betrayals, has shaped you, yes, but it has not broken you. You dig deep, reaching for that shimmering warmth, feeding off the moment of clarity. Enough. You shout once more, louder, fiercer. I'm not what you make me. I am stronger than my shadows. With that declaration, the grotesque figure falters. The shadows hesitate, vacillating like flickering candles. Seizing the moment, you push through the resistance with all your might. The light radiates, breaking free from your core, unfurling against the chilling darkness like a flame. Suddenly, the shadows scream, a cacophony of rage echoing through the void. They writhe and twist, but your light grows, illuminating the darkness. The cacophony crumbles into splintered echoes as fissures of light intersect and explode. And then you see it, the truth, the love, the laughter, the hope you've always dreamed of. It towers high, brightening the void around you. Tongues of light wrap around you, intermingling power with each breath. But just when you feel the unlock of clarity, the wall of shadows strikes out, an enormous hand of darkness trying to snuff out your glimmer. The despair thrums dangerously close, an all-encompassing menace clashing with your flickering hope. Will you fight until the end? The spirit asks, its voice urging. Will you risk it all to uncover who you were meant to be? The echoes of the past swirl heavier as doubt creeps back in. The shadows are relentless, an abyss waiting to pull you under. Your heart races, teetering on the brink of surrender, or freedom. Why does the truth feel so terrifying? What exactly does it ask for in return? The abyss looms ever closer, and you find yourself standing at the precipice, the weight of destiny resting squarely on your shoulders. What will it take to truly confront what lies beneath? The darkness shimmers like an open door, daring you to step through to face what's waiting. Beyond. The relentless darkness cascaded around you, whispering tales of despair that felt all too familiar. It clawed at your very essence, testing every shred of courage you had managed to muster. The shadows swirled, their whispers echoing like a falling tide that threatened to drown you in its sorrow. But then, something shifted. You took a deep, shuddering breath, feeling the warmth of your spirit beside you. "You can do this," it urged, a beacon in the enveloping gloom. "Trust that light pulsing in your chest, that spark ignited by the truth you had fought so hard to uncover." The shadows danced angrily around you, but their power was nothing against the unwavering force of acceptance surging from your core. "No more," you cried, voice echoing through the chilling void. "You will not hold me back." Your eyes blazed with a newfound determination. You were not the sum of your failures, you were a warrior, forged in the crucible of your past but no longer shackled by it. The grotesque figure that had terrorized you began to waver, its dark features flickering like a flame. "You think you can escape?" It spat, but the tremor in its voice betrayed its faltering grasp. The surrounding shadows recoiled, sensing the shift, feeling the light that you would harness. "I am more than what you whisper. I'm done being afraid." With every word, your voice soared, filling the air with a radiant energy that began to weave itself into the darkness. You felt the warmth grow, expanding outside of you, igniting trails of light that licked at the edges of despair, sending shrieks of alarm and fury from the shadows as they began to dissipate. One step forward, then another. "I embrace my past. I embrace my scars. I am ready to fight for my truth." As you declared your intention, the darkness howled, thrashing wildly, desperate to regain control. But you were resolute now. "I choose to heal. I choose to live." Those words brought a clarity that surged through you, lighting a path through the tangled darkness. In a final explosion of will, pure light erupted from your core, engulfing the shadows surrounding you. Dazzling and blinding, it washed over you, a cleansing wave that obliterated the fear, the doubt, the gnawing feeling that had clawed at you for too long. The echoes of lost souls softened, morphing into whispers of encouragement. They no longer held the weight of despair, instead, they began to transform, offering glimpses of understanding and support. And as they faded, the presence of those you had loved and lost emerged beside you, no longer encumbered by regrets or grievances, but rather shining examples of what it meant to support one another. As you took another step forward into the brilliance that surrounded you, the shadows scattered like mist kissed by the morning sun. You stood taller, feeling the warmth envelop you, not as a shackle, but as a coat of arms, a shield against the dark that could no longer touch you. In that moment, a resounding peace settled in. You looked around as colors brightened, vibrant life coming back into focus. The air felt lighter, possibilities unfurling like petals in the sunlight. "You have faced your demons and emerged," the spirit said, its voice now vibrating with joy. "With every choice you make, you shape the light within you. Remember this moment, for it is both a farewell and a beginning." With one last glance at the shadows retreating into the distance, you smiled, knowing you had chosen to forge your path, unencumbered by the weight of the past. "Thank you," you whispered into the breeze, feeling the bonds of regret loosen at long last. As the landscape of vibrant colors stretched infinitely into the horizon, you took a step forward into your new beginning, your heart buoyed with hope and freedom, knowing that you would carry those lessons with you always, but now as part of a strength forged in resilience. Now, as the echoes of the past swirled just out of reach, you began to write your own story, a tale laced with courage and love rather than fear. You turned your back to the shadows, fully ready to embrace this new chapter of your life. Don't wait even one more second. You need to subscribe now, so you don't miss the next exclusive stories. Smash that like button to feed the algorithm and show your support. Flood the comments section below with your reactions and theories about this jaw-dropping conclusion. And don't forget to instantly share this video with at least 5 friends who must see it. Let's build this incredible community together.